Hi, it's Rachel with Stirring the Deep. It is interesting that today is the first day of summer, June 21st, because it is truly a day of new beginnings. And it is a time when those that have been receiving the fullness of Christ, they have the wisdom from the Holy Spirit, the teacher, and that wisdom is being intertwined with that perfect love. They're able to receive that perfect love. Okay? So the seed that always looked like the seed is starting to turn into the tree. We're trees. Okay? That means we are starting to change drastically from being these old creations clothed in death, of the death realm, of the pit, to being sons of God, daughters of God, a new race, eternal creations. It is going to be magnificent, okay? And just as different as a seed looks from a tree, this is how different this new generation is going to look. It's going to be a pure generation. Okay? And it comes from within. So it's those people that have been receiving that truth. And it is a time when all of the past that was of the pit, that was your journey groping around in the grave to come out. Okay? God used all of your past to teach you and to instruct you. But like that seed, once it changes into a tree, it starts to grow. Even in that sprout, it no longer looks like a seed. Okay, it changes form completely. And so all of the past, which was of death, is cut off. It's like as if it no longer exists. It brought you to this point of stepping into eternity. But it's no longer determining your present moments. It's no longer determining your future. The only thing that now is determining your present moment, which is your reality, your life, your experience, is God Himself, because He is in you in fullness, governing everything, governing all your senses. Okay, so everything now that you are doing is being governed by Him within you and nothing from without you. So nothing of this world is determining your desires or your actions, okay, in terms of the world's foolishness or that mass consciousness that's full of lies and deception. All of that you've been cut off from, because now everything is coming from within out. Okay, and so now, as He has taken over, as He is governing and directing everything, every thought, every action, every response, conscious and unconscious, to you, your reality is now His. He is creating your reality. That is in making it His living temple. So a lot of times we think of the temple as inside of us, and that's where it starts, but it overflows. Okay, and the glory of the temple, that cloud, which is His glory, is going to fill the entire temple. Your whole life is His temple. Your actions, your words, your relationships, your work, the things that you do, everything becomes a part of His temple. That means He's governing you in all of those things. And all of those things, you are walking according to His ways and not the ways of the world. You're walking in the paths of righteousness and not in the paths of death. Okay, and if that's what you're doing, you're now starting to grow. And when your reality is His reality, when your reality is His living temple, then it is a light. Okay, and as God is creating one person's reality, okay, they've given complete governance. That means you totally trust God in all things, that you are in tune with His wisdom and His counsel in everything that you're doing. And again, we do a lot of things that we're not even conscious of, words that we say, thoughts that we think, but your life has shown if you have been walking with him, that you are seeking his counsel, you hear it, you walk in it, and you see the perfection of it in your life. You see it in your choices. Your life has changed to be in line with his character. Okay? And when you see that in the choices that you make, you know that everything that you're unconscious of, he's also working for good. Okay? So that's how it works. If you see him, your obedience and following his instruction and what you're aware of, then you know that he's governing everything else that you're not aware of. And that's him being your rear guard. We need that because we can only see so much. We're very limited. And so even the things that I'm asking his counsel and seeking that and knowing that I'm walking in that, there's a million other things that I'm not aware of. He's filling everything. Okay? And that's what it means for him to fully govern you. And that is when your life becomes a light because it's full of him. It's full of his truth, full of his wisdom. So as he's creating mine, and he creates someone over here that I may not even know, could be in a completely different country, but if he's creating their reality too, and they've given over their reality, then our realities are harmonious. Okay? And that means that they support each other completely. That means they're not taking from each other, they're not harming one another, they're perfectly loving and supportive of one another. Okay? And in time, as people start to light and turn that governance over to God, which they will, because as you see this new generation rise up, these sons and daughters of God, as they start to be revealed in creation, it is going to be so beautiful and glorious and tremendous that is going to start to become people's desire to partake of it, because it is of the most perfect love. It is what that experience, that reality is what fulfills every part of you. Okay? And that's where you want to be. So as their realities continue to grow, as people to continue to light, then everybody's going to come into harmony. Do you see? And that's how he will fill all in all eventually, because he's going to start taking over each of our realities. So in darkness, we harm. Even unintentionally. We may be intending to be a good person, but if we are bound up in our own wisdom, in the wisdom of this world, what we create is harm. That's the ripple effects. So even if we tend to do good, a lot of times we cause harm unintentionally. But with God, that's why you have to let go. And that's what you learn. To love perfectly, he has to be governing you. And that's what you're willing to give and to do. And that's where your steps of obedience come into play. And I'm going to dive into that in my next video. Until next time, keep stirring the deep. It's the one thing that changes everything else.